Hey, this is Mike. I am at Grand Strand Nissan checking out the 2016 Nissan Maxima. This morning I was working out at the gym, and next thing I know, I got an email from Victor here in Grand Strand Nissan letting me know that they got three 2016 Nissan Maximas. One is sold and the other one is in the showroom, and there's one here out on the lot ready for me to do a video on, and I flew down here as fast as I could. So anyways, here it is. Absolutely stunning four-door sports car. The styling, I don't even know how to explain it. It is just a gripping design that just grabs your attention. I mean, I pulled in the parking lot and I can instantly spot it. Out of all these cars at Grand Strand Nissan, my eyes instantly spot this car. So let's take a look here in the front. You see it has the big Nissan emblem right in the front center with that V-shaped design around it. It does have the sonar sensors on all four corners, and you can see that little round sensor there. It's got the daytime running lights there at the bottom. Now this one at this trim level is has the halogen projector headlights on low beam, and then the standard reflector headlights on high beam, or a combination of both. And it has this little Easter egg here that stands for four-door sports car. Four-door sports car. And look at that spoiler in the front. Let's get my shadow out of the way. Look at there, it has that kind of an edge to it. Edgy design. Let's take a look at the profile here. And it's really enhanced with these 18-inch aluminum wheels with like a two-tone, like gray, and then the aluminum showing through. Kind of reminds me of the Nissan Murano. And the contours, just, I'm hoping the camera is doing it justice. I mean, it really stands out to me. You've got some contours here at the bottom. You've got this line of action here in the side of the vehicle. And then you've got this black part right here, which they call this a floating roof design. And I guess it does kind of make it look like it's separated from the vehicle. This one has the panoramic sunroof. Now this is the SL trim level, which is right smack dab in the middle of the trim levels, which I will give you some more information on. I just want to show you this car. Maybe the lighting is a little bit better on this side, but look at the contours of this car. And then you can see here in the back, it's got the four-door sports car. Hopefully you can see that there in the side of the tail lights. And then it has the sonar sensors on the corners here. 3.5 liter V6 dual overhead cam, 300 horsepower, 261 pound-feet of torque. This thing is a beast. And with sport mode engaged, you can hear like a rumble, good rumble with the, when you start taking off. And also you can use the paddle shifters, and this one does have this Xtronic CVT transmission, continuously variable transmission, but it does have D-step tuning, which simulates gears, so you can feel like you're taking off a little bit. You're pulling off a little bit stronger than, like, say, the normal CVT. You also have 7 gear ratios, so it kind of simulates like a 7-gear transmission. All right, so let's go ahead and look here in the trunk while we're back here. You see it has the backup camera there. And this one's got the net already installed. You have these pull straps for lowering the back seats easily, so you don't have to walk around and do it. And let's see here. Let's take a look in here. It does have the spare tire, which a lot of new cars don't have them, so you want to make sure that you know if you have one or not. And pretty adequate trunk. Pretty significant there. All right, let's move on to let's go over here to the passenger side. And this one does have the key fob. That's a proximity key. And let me show you what the key fob looks like. It's kind of, if you're familiar with Nissans, you've seen this design before. And so basically you've got the ability to lock, unlock. This one does have remote start at this trim level. And also you can open up the trunk there. Now, to lock and unlock the car without the key, you can just keep the key in your pocket. You never actually have to take it out. You can just walk up to the vehicle and just push this button, and that locks the doors. And you can push it again to unlock it. Now it senses the key, and it senses, you know, of course, the button being pushed. So not anybody could just walk up and push the button. It has to sense that key within a close proximity of the vehicle in order to unlock the doors. All right, let's take a look on the inside. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, so you've got the contrast stitching. You've got the really eye-catchy, sporty styling to everything here in the door. So you've got the stitching there, but just look at the overall design. You've got lines going everywhere. You got a line going this way, you got a line going this way, and then at the bottom. And you've got that metallic, textured metallic accent there with the black leather, soft to the touch pretty much everywhere. And then you've got that contrast stitching just setting it off, and then you've got this glossy black surface here around the handle. This one has the 11 speaker Bose sound system too, so it has a speaker there on the door as well as up here a little tweeter speaker there. And your blind spot monitoring system has a little light right here that illuminates if somebody's in your blind spot. Now, inside this vehicle, the seats are low down. They have like a certain stance to them. Makes you like feel like you're in a Corvette or something. But you're not too far off the ground. I mean, you're not like it's super low to the ground, but it just has I don't know, you have to sit in one of these. Power seat on the passenger side. You've got the bright Maxima threshold there. Look at all the legroom you have. It's crazy. And you've got that metallic accent there. Let's take a look at the glove compartment. It is a felt lined. It goes in there for a mile. Let's take a look. Yeah, it goes in there way. I can even see the other side without using the night vision. And then the seats here are heated seats with the perforations in them. Very comfortable, and it has the NASA inspired zero gravity seats. And that has to do with the seating position, and that might be the way, you know, helping out the way it feels too. But it really has some good bolstering to it without really getting in the way. The bolsters, sometimes they can just get in the way when they're too aggressive around your body. These just fit perfect. And I'm going to use that cliche term, fits like a glove, but that's the way it feels when you get in these seats. Super excited about this car. Let's take a look at the back seat driver's place. You got the really aggressive, and I for lack of a better term, I don't really care for that term with vehicles because of course the car's not aggressive. The car is stylish. I don't know, but it has a really eye-catchy design to the way you've got the line of action everywhere. You've got contrasting lines. It is like a work of art, this vehicle. And then of course you have these very huge, solid, comfortable bolsters there on the side of the seats. You have the contrast stitching here in the back as well. This folds down. You got some cup holders, place to put your phones, armrest. Pretty decent leg room. place to put stuff there. Then you got the rear vents there. Now this one has, like I said, a panoramic sunroof. Now the shades are closed now, which I'll show you that in a few minutes. But yeah, the back seat is very substantial. Let's take a look under the hood. There's the latch there. Alright, just reach in here slightly to the right of the Nissan emblem, and it's down at the bottom there. See there? And once you lift it up a few inches, it lifts the rest of the way by itself. 3.5 liter dual overhead cam. Listen to that baby purr. 300 horsepower, 261 pound-feet of torque to propel you down the road in this sweet, awesome four-door sports car. Then you see you've got some noise dampeners there on the side. Everything is well placed. It is covered up with some plastic, which I'm kind of getting used to it now, but it has like a particular sound to it that is just like a smooth gliding sound. And I know the camera always picks up the noise of the engine, like makes it sound like it's really loud, but I don't know if that's the case this time, but it is a very smooth and quiet engine. See the radiator and the air conditioner, condenser coils there. Let's take a look at the inside. Let's take a look at the driver's door. Still has that awesome artistic speed demon design, and it also has the power windows, the door locks, all the functional features you'd find in most any other vehicle. The side mirror adjustments there, bottle holder, speakers. You got the power seat with the lumbar support on the side of the seat. Alright, so I'm going to try to contain myself while I'm entering the cockpit of the 2016 Nissan Maxima. Alright, here it is, the inside. It is kind of like a cockpit feel to it, with the kind of high dashboard and the angled center stack and the center console that's pretty high up. It feels like you're in a really sophisticated machine, which you pretty much are. But one of the first things that really stood out was this D-shaped steering wheel. I mean, it is just really sporty looking. And so basically it has the leather here, but also it has these perforations, and they're a little bit more than just dimples. They actually are perforated leather there, hand stitched on the inside. And you have the bolsters here in the steering wheel. It does have a good kind of a softness to it. It's firm, but it has a little bit of a give to your hands, give to it so your hands don't get fatigued. It's a very, very comfortable steering wheel. It looks amazing. So let's go ahead and look at these buttons here. I know it's got a bunch of buttons. So on the left side, you've got a radio. This is your volume for your radio. You have a source, so like AM, FM, satellite radio, also USB, Bluetooth, all that good stuff. You can change through the different sources, and then you can up and down change through say this is for presets, and then right here is for, like, say you can change. Now this one is a separate this is for your radio here. So like I'm going to just show you, scroll through that, so it's showing your presets there. But this one is for scrolling through this menu system here. So right now you're in your miles per gallon, but I'll show you that in a second. This is, you know, a little bit different than some of the other Nissan configurations here. And then on the right side, you do have your Bluetooth phones to where you can send and receive calls, call certain people using the voice recognition. You also have your cruise control set buttons around the outside here. So these buttons are separate from these buttons, and I guess that's the same thing with this. This is for your radio, this is for your screen and your gauges. But the cruise control, this is an adaptive cruise control. So like say once I can set my distance away from a particular vehicle in front of me. So using that button there, so that'll basically, you're driving at, let's say you're driving on the highway at 65 miles per hour. If somebody in front of you is going 63, it will slow this vehicle down to match your speed, match their speed, and then your speed stays, you stay a certain distance from them, and then that way you don't have to constantly micromanage your cruise control depending on what's in front of you. It automatically does that. You don't even have to think. Pretty cool system. All right, so back to these buttons over here and matching up with this center screen. You have the real easy to read gauges, RPM, speedometer, stuff like that, your fuel gauge, and your temperature there. That is your engine coolant temperature there on the bottom left. Here in the center, you have your odometer on the bottom left where it says 15 miles. On the bottom right, you have how many miles you can drive on the available gas. And on the top right, you have your outside temperature, 84 degrees. In the middle, you have middle top, your time. And on the top left is your blind spot monitoring system that is active. But there in the center, I'm going to use these buttons here to scroll through and show you. There in the center, let me get a good view of it there. Okay, so I'm going to scroll to the right, and you'll see a bunch of icons pop up. So right now, before I was at the home screen, that's your miles per hour, I guess. That's kind of like your default screen. If I push to the right, you can see it goes into your radio, shows you what your radio is doing. To the right again, it gives you your navigation screen. If I was on a particular route, it'll give me some information there on, like, turn right at a certain distance, that kind of stuff. Keep on going. This is your trip, basically, your drive computer. They give you your distance traveled, your time, your average miles per hour, and your average miles per gallon. Really handy stuff to know while you're on a trip. If you want to know it, you don't have to know it. And then your fuel economy, you can get a real in the moment, real time view of what you're getting while you're driving. Plus, it'll give you an average, and you can always hold the OK button here to reset it. Driving aids. This is your blind spot monitoring system, and you can see it uses like a system there on the back, and it will alert you, and also in front of you as well. And then tire pressures will, if you want to see those, you can see those. You can see the little icon there. It looks like a star, but it's actually a tire for your tire pressure monitoring system. And that will only appear while you're driving because it's not accurate when you're just starting the vehicle and you're sitting there. All right, so this is a sport mode screen. Kind of like a sporty screen, and this gives you your, because like I mentioned before, this is over here is your engine coolant temperature. On the right there, it gives you your transmission temperature. On the left, it gives your oil pressure, and then you've got your miles per hour, and then it has like a power meter bar there, like how much power you're using. It's pretty cool. Now I'm going to put it in sport mode, and let's see if the engine makes any different sound here. It's supposed to sound a little bit different. It's hard to really tell just sitting here. I like to actually drive it and see. I'm going to put it back in normal mode. But that's a pretty cool screen there to be focused on when you're, if you want to really drive, as they call, quote, spirited. All right, and then scrolling again gives you, this is where like a screen that'll give you information that, like trying to change the oil, that kind of stuff. And then you could go into settings here and change all kinds of stuff if you wanted to. And then you scroll again, it goes back to the home screen there. So really nice, easy to read, crisp letters, really good, soft, easy on the eyes, blue background there on all the screens, and also fades to black. Really, really, really good system as far as I'm concerned. The way it looks and the way it functions, real easy to navigate through with your icons there. You can easily see right where to go. You scroll to left or right. Really cool system, and it's adequate size too, so you can see it very easy between the steering wheel there. And this is a tilt. You can see it goes up and down. Also a telescoping, it goes out pretty far. Then right when you get right where you want it, you can just lift this up and lock it in place. You have your headlight controls over here. It does have an automatic mode. Of course, you can use your parking. You can have it off, automatic, and parking lights or your headlights there. You can adjust that. Plus your fog lights are here. You can turn those on and off. On this side is your windshield washers and windshield wipers with the intermittent feature. Here's your center stack, and it has a significant angle towards the driver, but not too far to where the passenger can't see it, but it really does give you the feeling of you're in control of this awesome machine in the cockpit. So here in the center stack, you've got your CD player, and then you have a bunch of buttons on the outside, but this is also a touch screen to where, so basically you have the ability to always touch the regular buttons on the outside and go to specific things, but basically you have the screen, the buttons here at the bottom. So it's real simple to always go back to the menu, the main home menu there, but you can go to the info there, information. It does have the satellite traffic. It has satellite weather. You can get fuel prices. I mean, you can get all kinds of cool information with the navigation connected to the XM radio, satellite radio. Really cool feature. It's kind of like sitting at your computer with all the information that you can get. It's all specifically designed for information for traveling and stuff like that, except for the stocks. I'm not sure, they kind of throw that in there. Movie listings, you're traveling to the movies, your weather, you want to know that when you're traveling, fuel prices, sporting events that you can go to, that kind of stuff. Now the Nissan Connect apps is something that's new for Nissan, to where you can take your cell phone, download that app, register for the system in your car, and you can unlock your doors, you can remote start your vehicle, you can do flash your lights, you can do all kinds of cool stuff with your cell phone when you're out of range of the key fob is not in range. So so like say somebody calls you and they're out in the parking lot and you're inside of a meeting or something, and they say, hey, I need you to unlock the doors, I forgot my house keys in your car or something. You can unlock the doors for them using that Nissan Connect app. Really cool system there. Of course, it does have Bluetooth phone. Once you connect your phone, there's all kinds of cool stuff you can do. You can play music through the sound system using the Bluetooth, but also you can send, receive calls, go through your phone book. Really cool safety feature. So basically, you want to be able to keep your hands on the wheel, eyes on the road while you're making important calls. I mean, I know you want to make calls, receive, send calls while you're driving. Everybody's staying connected with everybody with cell phones, so this is a way of doing that in an extremely safe way, the Bluetooth system. Audio, this is where you find your AM, FM, satellite radio. You can also, it does have HD radio as well, which is a digital radio system. Also, you can play music through a Bluetooth, like I said, your Bluetooth system, also your USB, your auxiliary inputs, and so there's lots and lots of different ways of playing music through the sound system, not just the radio. Of course, you have the CD player too as well. So let's go to the right now. You see where this is you see where this is going. You've got all these icons at the bottom here with the menu, home menu system there in the center. So this is showing me the map, and so basically you can always go to a particular put in a particular address, that kind of stuff, but the just viewing the map is right here, and it is a very clear, easy to read map. You have it's a top down. It also has you know, you can change that to a different view if you want to, but it does have real easy to read words there that kind of, you know, stand out. And then you can go right here to the navigation. This is where you'll put in specific addresses, new destination. You can have you can save different addresses. You can have your home address in there, all kind of stuff. You can also change the route. So like, say if you want to have a route that goes, you know, avoids traffic or avoids highways or stays on the highway, stuff like that, you can do all that stuff from here. Also, you have a settings screen where you can adjust all kinds of stuff. You can add Bluetooth devices. You can adjust the way the screen looks. You can change the your clock settings, like the time, sound. You can adjust your bass, treble, stuff like that. You can have, you know, adjust the volume, whether it has beeps or not when you push the buttons. And you can edit this home menu, because you'll notice the home menu here has some little icons there, and you can, you know, change those icons to whatever you want. You don't have to have these. So pretty cool system there. It's an 8-inch screen, touch screen, very crisp, easy to read. It has good background colors, and it looks classy. It's not cheesy looking at all. It looks really cool. Now, like I said, you do have the buttons, the real buttons on the outside you can push, but you know, those are there in case you need them. You have this back button there in case you need to go back out of a screen that you've gone into. Also, you do have the volume button. You do have the tune through the stations, pretty traditional buttons there. The camera button, this one doesn't have the around view camera, this particular model, but you can turn on and off the predictive course lines, which I'll show you in a second. Matter of fact, let me go and show it to you now. I'm going to put it in reverse. So these lines right here predict what they call predictive course lines. These are lines that give you an estimated trajectory as you're backing up, and that estimated size too, because it is a wide angle view lens. So basically it distorts the image the more you go out from the center, sort of like a GoPro you know, camera or something. So basically they want you to know about where your vehicle is going to go. And so and then also it does give you like a green, yellow, and red. So the closer you get, now red, it looks like you got plenty of room there, but since it's a stretched out view, that's very close to your vehicle. So you want to, you know, definitely don't want to go past that red zone, because you can see from the bumper all the way to the sky. It does have a really wide angle view, which is a good safety feature. You just have to be aware that it is a little bit stretched out there. Alright, so that's your camera button. So just below the screen you have your climate control, and you can see it's a dual zone climate control, so your driver and passenger can have their separate temperatures. You also, of course, you know, have your recirculate the air right there. Your mode is to where you want the air to blow, like so. Fan speed is here, so you can have faster or slower fan speed. And of course you can turn it on and off. And then you've got your front and rear defrosters on that side. You can also just push auto and set the temperature and just we'll just roll with it, let it do its thing. You don't have to manually adjust all those, but you can if you want to. Now, like, it does have the dual zone. Now if you want to basically have it sync together to where nothing, there's not, you know, independent temperatures. So like right now I can adjust this separately from that side, but I can turn that off just by pushing this button, and then that way, as long as I use this knob on this side, it will adjust both of them at the same time. As soon as I start moving this, it changes it back to dual. Okay, so that's how that works. There's your push button. This one has remote start and it has push button start. So basically you just get in the vehicle, put your foot on the brake. As long as you have the key with you, you can push that button, it starts right up. And here is your auxiliary input, and it has 2 USB ports. Now the USB ports are for playing music through the sound system and or charging a USB device. So like my cell phone, I can charge it, plug it in, plug it in one of those USB ports with my charger. And then this is awesome. I have a Note 4, Samsung Galaxy Note 4, which is a very large, with the OtterBox on the outside of it. It's a very large phone, but check it out. It goes right in there. I can plug it in, I can close it up. Isn't that awesome? It like fits perfectly in there, and I can put my other stuff in there too. I mean, it's just it's a perfect place for putting a cell phone out of the way. Of course you can put it in a cup holder to where you can quickly access it, but if you just want to plug it in, charge it, that's the ticket right there. So let me just put the night vision on so you can see how far that goes in. Plus you have this little quick pocket right there in the front. But that is just nice. That is just really cool. All right, so of course you can close it up. Cup holders are here, and your heated seat controls are here for your driver and passenger. There's your normal mode and sport mode, and this is basically this gives you the ability to operate that screen without reaching out. So you're driving along, and you can change on the screen here, kind of like a mouse in a way. You can kind of scroll through, and you can also move it. So like I can move it left or right to go to different screens. And has a back button, has a menu button, and then your voice. So basically you can push that, it goes to your map.
In about 4/10 of a mile, right turn.
This turns on your voice for your navigation. So it lets you know just by pushing and holding it down, it starts talking to you and let you know where to go. So you could turn that on and off there. So this is a really good feature for you. You just have your hand here on the armrest, and you're just kind of driving along, and your hand's right here, your other hand's on the steering wheel driving, and you're not having to reach out and touch anything over there. You can completely control everything with this. I guess it's kind of like a, I hate to say a joystick, it's more like I guess it's just like a controller. Not really sure how to explain it other than that. But really cool safety feature. I like the way they have multiple places where you can access the same thing. Redundancy is not a bad thing when it comes to actually controlling your vehicle, because not everybody wants to control it by touching the screen. Not everybody wants to necessarily use the buttons on the steering wheel. So you've got other ways of controlling the same things. The triple redundancy is a positive thing when you're considering while you're driving. You have to really know where, pick which ones that works best for you, because the most important thing is you pay attention to your driving. So looking at looking at this center console system here, it does have these side bolsters with the stitching, and just overall I'm just like breathless. I can't believe that I'm actually sitting in this car. I've been a week completely waiting for it to come in and really excited. So now it's here, I'm all giddy and happy. All right, so here is the center console. And of course it does have the contrast stitching. It's comfortable. Look at that softness to it. It's very soft. Goes in pretty good. And then this lifts up, and you have a pretty good storage container in there. It also has a glowing power supply, 12 volt in there. So let me turn the night vision on so you can see. Has a place to put some coins. It's all felt lined, and you can put some junk in there. And I notice it's not too big. It's a little bit of a it's pretty handy size without being too clutterable, because you can't put too much in there. Some of the center console bins are just ridiculously huge, which this one does have a ridiculously huge glove compartment. So that's it has a good trunk, and it has storage in the door. There's lots of different storage options in this vehicle. All right, so looking at the rear view mirror, we do have your home link system for right here, these little houses. That's for your garage door opener. You just have to pair it with your garage door. And it does have an auto dim rear view mirror to where, like say at nighttime, it will dim the mirror so where the people with their headlights don't blind you. From the back, you can also turn that on and off here if you want to. And we have a place to put your sunglasses, pretty good size too, and it is a very soft, kind of like a pool table felt feeling on the inside of it. You've got your interior lights, a quick LED reading light there, and you have one there. You can turn all your interior lights on with that button. This is a little ambient light that'll give a real soft, like a moonlight glow to the center of the vehicle here at nighttime. Really handy when you just kind of need to get your bearings. You don't want to, you know, just see pitch black when you look down. And then this is like, say, if you want the doors, when the door opens, you want the light to turn on or not. That's what that's for. All right, it's sunroof time. So this one has the dual panoramic sunroof, and one there in the front, one in the back, and it has dual like separate shades, but you can only control them. They kind of go together. So I'll show you here. Let's see if I can get a good camera angle there. So I'm going to go ahead and push on this button here one time, and you can see that they both go in the center. They're going to roll up there in the center, and you can't open one or the other. They're both basically connected. Once you open them up, or both are not, you know, it's not but one or the other. So now I can open up the front there like so. The back one is fixed, though I can't open that one. That's just for allowing, and then of course it's I pushed the button a little bit too hard, so it's closing everything up. So let me open that back up, and let me push the button in so you can see that it tilts up. You can tilt up, tilts down. It's pretty quick too. All right, so now I can close up the shades. In case you don't want any light shining on you, you can close it all up. Really neat. It really opens it up when you're driving, especially sitting in the back. The back seat drivers, you know, like me, I kind of get car sick riding in the back on a vehicle that's too claustrophobic. But see, this one has the panoramic sunroof, so you kind of feel like you're in a more of an open space. Got pretty good visibility in the back there as well, out of the back glass. Then your back seats, pretty good size. Awesome, awesome car. Let me know what you think of the 2016 Nissan Maxima, and if there's anything that you would like to know about it, I'll be doing my best to find out. Okay, so the shifter, just want to mention the shifter as a certain way you do it. So basically, putting it in reverse pops up your backup camera. It also pops up your sonar system there on all four corners, so it keeps you from hitting stuff. And then you can continue down. There's neutral, there's drive. Now that's the normal driving, just drive around, you know, don't have to think about it, drive mode. And so if you wanted to get all sporty, you can push it over there and it goes into it like a manual mode. So I'm going to just show you. I'm going to put it back in drive. You see where it says D? I'm going to put it over. Now it says 1. That tells me I'm in the first gear ratio. I could push forward and backwards, but it's not going to let me do it because it's going to keep me in a safe gear ratio range. It's not going to let me go too far, but since I'm stopped. But if I'm driving and I want to switch to the gear ratios, the gears, it has a CVT, so it's a little bit different. So I can change to the 7 gear ratios using this kind of like a ratchet shifter system right here. Really cool. And the shifter's awesome too. It's got that slant to it, shininess in the back. It's got the chrome around there, the stitching, and then the leather. Pretty sweet. And then it's got this leather boot here that gives you a sporty manual transmission look. But that's how that works. Alright, if you have any questions, let me know. I appreciate you watching, and thank you to Grand Strand Nissan for allowing me to show off this awesome car to the world. Appreciate it. I do not work for Grand Strand Nissan. I work for you. So if you could send me a tip, I'd really, really appreciate it. It helps me cover the expenses of traveling around and camera equipment and all the stuff that I need to do to show you these awesome cars. So I really appreciate that. If you have any comments, any clarifications, please leave it in the comment section. I'd really appreciate it. Please subscribe to my channel and like the video if you like it. If you don't, dislike it. Either way, appreciate it. See you next time. The 2016 Nissan Maxima has a 3.5 liter dual overhead cam V6 engine with 300 horsepower, 261 pound-feet of torque, and it also gets 30 miles per gallon on the highway and 22 in the city with a combined of 25 miles per gallon. And this car is considered a four-door sports car. Four-door sports car, and I think it lives up to its name. This vehicle is equipped with a CVT, Xtronic CVT transmission, continuously variable transmission. That's what CVT stands for. And when you want a quick or an aggressive acceleration, then it has a D-step tuning system that provides responsive stepped acceleration that gives you more of a linear feel. Manual shift mode allows the driver to choose among 7 speed ranges, like 7 different gear ratios. So it's kind of like shifting through regular gears in a standard speed transmission. Now, sport mode will adjust the steering feel, throttle response, transmission tuning, active sound enhancement tuning, if equipped, which this one is, and the tuning of the integrated dynamic control module for what they call, quote, spirited driving. In other words, you want to just haul ass. The 2016 Nissan Maxima is equipped with driver attention alert, a really cool safety feature. Driver attention alert. This system uses the driver's steering history to determine attentiveness and alerts the driver with text and coffee cup icons to take a break. So basically, you're driving along, and at first you're driving and you're really using the steering wheel has a micro, what they call like micro corrections. When you're driving on the highway, even at a straight line, you're constantly doing these micro corrections. And so if your micro corrections start getting a little bit dull, or you stop doing them and you just kind of be more lazy in your driving, the system will pick up on that and just kind of, make a little chiming sound and say, hey, is it time for a break or something like that. So I think it's a really good feature to, if somebody's driving for long periods of time, to keep them from actually falling asleep and getting in an accident. So it could actually save their life.